Hi, Derek. Hi, everyone. So my name is Luca. I work at Buddy for more than 4 years now, and I lead the growth of our B2B business.
Nice. You can use this one.
Yeah. Hello. You can hear me well.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm Mariana. I'm a B2B marketing manager here at Berkeley. I've been here for almost 3 years now, since we started actually marketing B2B at Berkeley.
Great.
Very good. Frederic, I give you the microphone. Please tell us who you are, what is 1DB, and why are we here today?
Sure. First, I would like to introduce the concept. I mean, today it's all about timing. In B2B, I think even more than in consumer space, top of mind is very valuable thing. You know, when we get the timing right, when you capture a signal, there's a window of opportunity, and the time to capture that signal and to act on it is crucial, right? And so this is why we will show you how we leverage cargo for that very purpose, to act on the signal in a very scalable way, and you'll see with some quite amazing results. So Weights Biases, this is a company based in San Francisco. It was founded by machine learning practitioners, and we are selling to machine learning practitioners, right? We're selling sets of tools for ML ops and LLM ops, right? So machine learning practitioners, it's another way of saying data scientists who operationalize processes, using machine learning. And so, among our customers, ChatGPT has been built using our tools. So OpenAI, NVIDIA, I mean, all the big names are using our tools to train their models. So in terms of our selling motion, so we offer a free version of Weights Biases platform, the suite of tools that we offer. So there's a free version that's really meant for academics and students who are studying machine learning, and we have a first upsell to what we call the Teams version that enables more collaboration, and it's meant really for mid-market accounts and for startups, smaller accounts. But it's also we use it also to sometimes we sell to enterprise account, but one division who starts with it, start small and get confident with the product. And the goal is to ultimately upsell them to an enterprise version where there's no more limits on the number of users and the number of hours they can use the platform.
Okay, so land and expand, basically.
Yep, land and expand. Even though we have a very huge base of free users, there used to be like very little restrictions on the free version, but now that we want to kind of convert more, we started to put more restrictions on it. It's the world of machine learning has a lot of open source, so that's kind of where we started. Right? Yeah, the sales motion sounds fairly similar to what you guys are doing. I mean, a lot of individual users, and then who grow into teams, and eventually could grow into an enterprise version. So yeah, this is this main sales motion. So maybe we should start showing the product.
Sure.
I'm going to start showing.
So I'll go to the next slide, which is sort of the output. Maybe let's quickly talk about the output.
This is an example of basically a Slack alert that, as you can see, Richard is one of our account managers. So they received that very customized, timely message. In this case, for this workflow, we set the motion as stated here. When the account goes over 300 hours in the last 30 days, this is where this is one signal that we've seen as an efficient way. It's an efficient way to consider them ready for an upsell. So we give them more facts, what have they been doing with the product, where do they stand contractually, and and we use, as we will see, ChatGPT to pick up from all the usage signals what could be relevant. So this is delivered. I mean, the workflow runs twice a day, and usually we get about like between 2 and 5 every day of those.
And just to confirm here, Frederic, it's because they're signing up with their professional email address, right? It's not their personal email address where they originally sign up.
So the team accounts, they're paying already, right? So they use their corporate address, yes. So this is the upsell from Teams to Enterprise that we're shooting for. Yeah, I think one important fact is that the team accounts, they are self-service. They sign up on the platform with a credit card.
Okay, so full PLG up to how many seats?
Usually it's about 10, but it's not carved in stone, but usually 10 is the maximum. So it's PLG, and our enterprise accounts obviously are managed with dedicated AEs. And even then, we have 2 segments. We have one that we call enterprise, which could be really anything mid-market and higher, and one called strategic, where we have really large accounts, like some I mentioned earlier.
And this you define it based on your scoring or on the first utilization or sign up from the clients. So how do you define a mid-market to an enterprise?
It's based on number of employees
that they have, not the number of employees that sign up, right?
Employees, not users.
Okay.
Because usually, we find that there are several machine learning engineers teams usually in organizations. I mean, think of it like we're selling to Microsoft or Apple, and there are various teams who could have could work on machine learning project, and at some point, the enterprise, the account manager is going to have to hopefully put them all under the same contract umbrella. And that would be beneficial for them, right? Instead of paying, Teams is more expensive per user in power than the enterprise version. So, it should be a win-win conversation. But it's about finding the right time because the challenge for the A's is to find the right approach to engage the conversation. And here, usually when they reach the 300 hours limit, is when they start experiencing some pain and restrictions.
Okay.
Right. So. And this sounds easy to generate that message, but as you can see, I mean, Cargo makes it much easier, but it's a challenge because it's combining a lot of systems.
Frederic, I have a question actually. I'm aware of this, but I'm sure the other people will appreciate it. This is just one example of an alert that you came up with your sales team. And so maybe if you explain to us the process that you guys took to do the ideation to come up with these ideas. And I think that's pretty unique to Weights Biases and also partly the reason for you being so successful.
Yeah, we experiment a lot. That's the thing. We try things, and that's why we need the agility that, directed me towards Cargo in the first place, because I don't want to have to, when we experiment things, I don't want to have to wait 30 days for coders to put something together. Here I'm in full control of the workflow with limited coding. So I can respond quickly to when we spot an opportunity, a new sales motion. So this is actually, we have another workflow that is similar to this, but it's not based on the volume of hours. It's based on the actual limit on their contract. So this one is based on what the sales managers have observed. They feel like it's they feel like that limit is the right signal, but we will see by the number of conversions that we get if that's actually the hypothesis is correct, right? So, but we can experiment at almost no cost, right? Besides a bit of overhead in putting together the workflow and getting the attention of the A's, but the A's love it. It's to give you an idea, they consider that bluebirds. So I don't know if you guys know that expression in American sales. That means it's like a bluebird landing on your window sill and that is ready to go. They don't have to put much effort usually in closing the deal.
Yeah.
And
is it possible to actually see the Cargo workflow?
Yeah, we'll get to that. I just give you the context so that you understand the positioning, the relevance for the business. But yeah, to give you an idea, usually our sales cycle in enterprise is like takes between 90 and 180 days, and those deals here, they take on average 14 days, and we have an 86% win rate. So that, whereas our average is more like 50%.
So 90 days to 14 days, right, of sales cycle. That's pretty impressive. And then you have 86% win rate on this.
Yeah.
And so how does it actually work for the experience? So let's say I'm an AE, I receive this alert. What do I do?
Yeah, I mean, they go to there's a dynamic link to their Salesforce account page, and they will assess, double checking the data, but they will get more context from Salesforce, and they will position a call or an email, customized email.
So does it mean that you flag this account in Salesforce probably as high priority, right? And all those notes are pushed, I guess, in the Salesforce account notes as well, right?
Yep, we can log it into Salesforce. No problem.
You increase the score, or what do you do exactly on the account, or you just flag him as a super high priority account and you automatically create a task for the AE?
So we have an early version of the scoring, which actually we use Cargo to update, but we spend actually more energy or on the contact level scoring, to identify who are the active people that the AE should talk to. So they look more at the contact score. In this case, we could impact the account score, but it's an older version, and we haven't incorporated this into the account score yet. And since we're directing them to the account, I mean, it's not very urgent.
Okay.
But they use like a lead scoring really to go identify who they should talk to, and they're going to use also the individual usage to see to try to identify the roles, like who's the champion, who's the gatekeeper, and so on.
Right. Okay, I see. And you get a sense of the win rate on this intent?
Yeah, I mean, those messages usually it's about 87%. That's what we saw in Q2 the last time I ran the stats.
Win rate.
Yeah, that's what he was saying before, right? Their normal sales cycle is 90 days. For this one, it's 14 with 87% win rate. That's
pretty a good buying intent, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually we have a very, very high loyalty to the platform, and we have I mean, our average win rate is 50%. So but it's a significant step up, but usually we have a pretty good product. So
this is a freemium plan, roughly, right? I'm trying to understand is once you move to paid, I mean, how much are we talking about roughly in terms of ACV?
ACV, that's a good question, because there's a big difference between the segments. But I think it's about 40K annuity for on the enterprise one, and the strategic, it's I mean, we have some accounts are several $1 million. Yeah,
and it's consumption based, right? It's not
subscription based. Yep, annual deals. Yeah.
You said subscription or utilization based?
Right now it's subscription, but for teams we are moving towards more utilization. So it's it's on it's on the table right now. We're looking into evolving the contract.
Interesting.
Monetization strategy. Yeah. So we start by this is the beginning of the workflow. It starts with a SQL query, going after the data warehouse to go after our usage table. So we have a data mart that encompasses every paying account daily usage. So I pick a large amount of metrics, because I will let ChatGPT decide which ones are the most relevant in that case. So as you can see, we merge that with the account information from Salesforce. The users are the Salesforce users, so that are the AEs and the sales management. And yeah, as you can see, this is where we define the threshold.
Okay.
Can I interject here? So we wrote this query together. I remember back in the day, we had a pretty easy experience because the data behind is very cleanly done. So if you look at the query, there's almost nothing happening. We're just getting the usage and pulling columns that are pre-prepared. Because Weights Biases has a great data engineering culture, they're just data scientists, so they do this well. This is pretty important. So if you see, like, you have metrics like last 30-day tracked hours, local seats, this is the foundation of all of this. So if you don't have a clean data mart behind, then you probably spend a bit more time getting to that clean state before you can launch it.
So, and this is the workflow that looks deceptively simple, but it does a lot of things which are hard to do, actually. So this is, that I did not. So we start from that SQL query, and so you can see here the field, the field that it is retrieving, and this is where we have ChatGPT coming into play, and this is the prompt that Frederic very helped me tune in a very relevant way. He's basically impersonating an AE to give him what's relevant. And
maybe just for context, Frederic, so how did we choose these columns to start synthesizing upon? Maybe talk us a bit through that. Maybe if you expand the box with the little arrows below, we can see the full picture.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Not this one.
No, this is good. This is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to explain how we made the choice, because this is not all of the columns of the data mart, it's just a few ones.
Yeah, that's right. It's about, and I could add more actually, but it's about talking also with the AEs, like among the metrics, like which one do you look at usually? It's about collecting also some tribal knowledge there about what they think is a proper signal. I mean, we didn't use a scientific method, or we could use a machine learning model to better guide the selection of those metrics, but at that point, we wanted to get something out the door quickly, so we used the tribal knowledge. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it makes it very easy to integrate the prompt in here. Then this is also the key object here is the allocate, which so basically it's taking the account owner ID from the data warehouse, and as you can see, it's connecting to Salesforce, and it will retrieve it's going to match that owner ID. So that's basically the AE on the account that we have the alert for, and it will retrieve the Slack ID for that AE, so that it's fully dynamic. Does that make sense? That allocating is the magic. It's quite magical because it's basically it's tying the data warehouse to Salesforce and Slack.
And anecdotally, just to understand the importance, so before, back in the day when we were starting to build this flow together, the first kind of flow of this kind, we didn't have this feature, and so we used to do this by hand. So I don't know if you remember, Frederic, but we had a big script. We were pulling the right owner from a big list that we were updating every couple of weeks, and because we saw it was so powerful, we actually shipped a feature which has now become a mega feature inside the workflow editor.
Yeah, because account owners change over time a lot. And we don't want to send a message to someone who is not on the account anymore, or someone who has left the company, and having the notification being lost. So it's really key to make sure it's relevant when the signal appears. So now we know what we have: the signal, we have the messaging, we have the recipient. So what was the actual content of the message? This is where we use the code of Cargo, which is fairly easy to put together and very flexible. That's the thing. So the message will look like this. You saw on the screenshot earlier, but note that we put this this dynamic URL so that when they receive the notification, they can just click and they are directly in the account page in Salesforce. So that they can act right away. And yeah, so some context. I mean, we already saw the, and at the end, yeah, we finish with the blurb that OpenAI puts together. ChatGPT in this case, yeah.
And Frederic, so maybe for the audience, there's not one Slack alert, but there's three. Maybe you
Yep,
could
we
talk
can
us
get
through
there.
why there are three and what they serve.
Yeah, so here, as you can see, yeah, this is the current AE's dynamic name. So see, I'm slacking AE, and here I'm doing a copy for me to more for quality control than anything else, and to make sure the workflow is running also, and because I want to keep a pulse on what's going on. And this one is for the sales managers. So here in this case, I hard coded it because that it's for a team that has a single manager, but I have another workflow where it's dynamically also picking up the manager from Salesforce, from the Salesforce user hierarchy. So because the sales managers want to know that their AEs are not, in case their AE is taking a day off, or he wants to know, but there's a very big chance that those notifications are building his pipeline. So he wants to know what's going on, and he's the first one to work with me on so basically I'm copying the sales managers here.
Very
Okay,
good. Jan, you have a question?
No, I mean, how do you track results from this intent, right? You mentioned about the conversion rates. Then you create a tag in Salesforce.
No, I don't need to. Basically, I'm tracking the opportunities that this is a type of opportunity.
You create a new opportunity each time.
I don't create it. The AE does. If it's confirming that there is like some pipeline there, he needs first to try to establish contact with the account. And once he does, he opens an opportunity. And because of it's a specific opportunity type, the conversion type, and that I can easily in a dashboard then look at the conversion rate, the dollar amounts, and so on.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Frederic, without, talking about anything confidential or something you're not comfortable sharing, can you give us the magnitude of the kind of output that you've seen from this kind of Slack alert? Because I know the numbers are pretty impressive. I'm not sure how much I can say. Give us just a vague picture of how successful this has been.
Yeah, when I last ran the stats in Q2, because we are just closing Q3, but that was we got 37 deals out of it, and with an average of $20K per deal. So we're almost at $1 million. That's not bad for the amount of effort. And I said AEs love it because these are quick deals. It's like helps on their quota attainment without effort. So so this makes a lot of sense. And I said what this workflow does is difficult because it has to connect to the variety of systems to make that happen in one place, right? And once it's running, it's pretty much fire and forget as far as I'm concerned.
And so, Frederic, thank you for this. I think I will take the advantage of having three Preply people here in the call. So Jan, Luca, and Mariana, if you guys were to activate something like this in Preply, what would be the challenges you think you would have?
Yeah, you still recording, or can we stop recording?
I can stop the recording. Let's stop the recording.
Yeah, go ahead, you guys.